My next thing
Keep
is
it
I
real.
watched Iron Claw.
Ever since I was a child, people said my family was cursed. Mom tried to protect us with God. Pop tried to protect us with wrestling. He said if we were the toughest, the strongest, nothing could ever hurt us. I believed him. We all did.
Morning.
Pants tomorrow, please, David.
Perry, I want you to join your brothers in the ring.
Yes, sir. I love that.
Woo! Now, we all know Kerry's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
What do you want in life, Kevin Von Erich?
More ribs?
I want to be with my family. You know, be with my brothers.
What do you like to do with your brothers?
Together, we can do anything.
The Iron Claw, which Zac Efron, Zac Efron is Kevin Von Erich. It's about his family, the family curse.
Kevin Von Erich.
Nope, he was Kevin Von.
It's Kevin Von Erich. It's the
Yeah.
Von Erichs.
You said
What
Eric.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yeah,
I can see what you're saying. They're very similar.
not a completely different story, just a different.
Yeah, it's truly a tragic story about two brothers.
It is a tragic story of brotherhood.
It is tragic.
And
You think that's why they named him Elric?
Probably.
Hey man, Japan and wrestling.
Yeah,
I could believe it.
I could see it. If somebody told me that, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, also just because I think they're German.
Yeah, that's also way more common in anime than you would think.
Yeah.
In Full Metal Alchemist, yeah, they very much are. They're that world's version of German.
And see almost the entire cast save one of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's true. That is also true. So,
anyway,
I actually operate under the conspiracy theory that Paradise Island is England.
Huh. That makes sense.
Interesting.
The Von Erichs.
Wild tangent. Yeah, Zac Efron and a bunch of other people.
Jeremy Allen White, and that's where the people I know end.
Yeah. But I will say, as I was watching this, it took me a little bit longer than I would care to admit to realize that it was Zac Efron, which I think kind of is impressive.
That's what they're going for.
Yeah.
No, he impressed the hell out of me for that. Was he roided up? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and
the funniest thing is Ricky Stenicki, because he did Ricky Stenicki right after he did Iron Claw, and he's completely deflated, but you could still see the remnants of what he had done to himself for the Iron Claw. It's quite funny.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you had told me that he was wearing prosthetics, I would believe that he was wearing prosthetics.
I think he is wearing prosthetics.
I had read that he did that, but Hollywood lies. So
yeah,
people say The Rock isn't on gas, and there's no way.
Well, I think
look at him. Look at The Rock when he was in the prime of his wrestling career.
There's a John Cena Rock fight that Jordan. I think that's one of your matches, right? Yeah. Where he's like thin as a pin. You're like, wow, man, and he do some steroids. I think the face. I think the face they did prosthetics.
Yeah, I could believe it. But
I feel like I've Googled this before.
So this was an interesting example of I had never heard of these people before watching this. So going into this, at a certain point I had to look up and see if this was an example of this is a fake family, a fictional movie, or if these were real people, because their curse was so.
Fun fact. It was actually worse in real life.
Justin was telling me that. Yeah,
this movie tones down they cut out a brother because, quote, they felt it would be too sad.
It's already.
Hey man, I'm just gonna say, man, the line at the end, or the moment, not the line that Zac Efron has with Kevin Von Erich has with his sons at the end, when he says, I don't have brothers no more.
All the time. Do you think you know why you're sad?
Well, I guess it's because I used to be a brother. And, now I'm not a brother anymore.
Oh, well. We'll be your brothers, Dad. Yeah, Dad. We'll be your brothers.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
These kids say, "We'll be your brother," dude. Fucking.
The one that
And they are. That's the thing. They are like this apparently. Like they're very, which I can understand why.
Yeah.
That just gutted me, man. That's the one where I'm like, this is a masterpiece of art.
He used to be.
A lot of people won't get it, but
no, I'm not. Like,
I'm not a brother. Like, I'm not a brother anymore. I've lost my brothers, and I'm like,
the one that
I have a brother. It hurts me.
I don't even have a brother.
The moment that gets me is when he imagines the four of the brothers meeting each other in heaven. And they all move away, and then there's the little Jack. Oh, that's the moment that gets me.
Brother.
Hey, brothers!
Here he is.
Hey, Mikey. World champion of the afterlife, huh?
Oh, finally.
Hey, where's Jack Jr.? Haha. You must be my oldest brother, Jackie. So nice to meet you.
Every time, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, right, my son.
So I mean, I ultimately, okay, I'm gonna be a little honest here. The first parts of it, like a little slow, little, yeah, and so like there's a point where like I we have what's referred to as the phone test, where like if I end up looking at my phone, it's failed the phone test. This one, the first part of it did fail the phone test. So like I look up at a certain point and they're all at a funeral, and I'm like, wait a minute, who died? Wait, what?
What happened? That's yeah, you're right. It very much like it has that, because I also rewatched this, and the beginning of it is very much like it telegraphs how sad it's gonna be because things are disproportionately happy. All of the characters are like, there's like 3 or 4 scenes in a row of the characters being overly jovial, of them like dancing at a wedding or hugging each other and being like,
things are going too well.
Yeah, you're like,
someone is going to die.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, things are going to be like this forever. And then the next scene, I think it's David Von Erich, who was the first.
See, that's why you have to live your life with a healthy dose of pessimism to avoid that trap.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, the wedding
like,
scene, all
that's happened to me. Not to the point of relatives dying, thank God, but it's like things are going a little too smooth.
For sure. Yeah, you're like,
definitely.
Should be on the lookout for something, and then that's when you get sick for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're like, something's going down somewhere. I could feel it.
I always
too well.
I've started going with the phrase that which doesn't kill you hasn't tried hard enough.
That's when that's when the check engine light in your car comes on.
Absolutely.
And it's not just a faulty sensor, because
no,
it's never a faulty sensor when you need it to be. When I have $3,000 in the bank for a radiator repair, we're all it's all good. It's just a computer glitch.
But when you don't,
I mean,
that's when it's like your engine is done.
My body's check engine light is always on, so I just never know when things go wrong.
I run red hot.
It's been on for a while.
The big thing with
maybe you just wanted to be included.
The big thing with this movie, and I also watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode about the Von Erichs. Kevin was involved in consulting for this movie, and Kevin very definitely has a vested interest in making sure his brothers come across all right. So there's in my opinion, and it especially comes across in that Dark Side of the Ring episode where,
which whoa, hey, for a second to interrupt you, fair.
Fair, no, totally fair, totally fair. I would do the
fair.
same thing. I would absolutely lie up and down to protect my family. Like I'm not judging, not lie, but like
exaggerate,
embellish,
embellish the good-hearted nature of like they
apparently
soften. A lot of them were on drugs. Were very much on drugs.
I mean, it was the 80s.
Like it hints
show
at
that
it with,
to a point, yeah.
It hints at it with Kerry Von Erich. Like there's a moment where he flips out at the dad, but like
for not firing the gun.
Apparently, it was like way worse. Apparently, some of those guys got downright mean when they were on, and the movie absolutely cuts it out.
Just glazed right over that.
You don't really see.
Well, it is from the perspective of the family too. So not saying it's okay, but the point of that movie is it's a love letter from the Von Erichs to the Von Erichs.
Yeah, that's
on
a
a
way to put
surface level analysis.
But like what I found interesting about Kevin Von Erich is he still seems to have this idea of keeping up, unless back when he wrestled, kayfabe wasn't as much of a thing. Because even when they're interviewing him as a talking head, he's like, "Oh yeah, we thought we could really beat them." And Kerry thought that he could really beat, because I also watched the Ric Flair Kerry Von Erich fight, phenomenal. The match that they did where he won the championship, phenomenal. It's on YouTube, so good. That's before he got the prosthetic leg, which is another thing about Kerry Von Erich that's insane. He wrestled with a prosthetic leg.
So many people didn't know that until much later.
They hit it. They absolutely hit it. Did a phenomenal job hiding it because you would never know. He's a very talented wrestler.
You wouldn't.
But also like that wrestling back then was so different compared to today. It was so wildly different. Where was I going with Kevin Von Erich? The talking
Ric Flair.
The Kevin Von Erich, he says, "Oh, we really thought that Kerry could beat him," and then the next talking head is like, "It was decided that Kerry Von Erich would be given the belt." And I was like, there's a stark, I think it might be Jim Cornette who says, but it's just a stark difference of like trying to maintain the illusion of the business still for some reason. I thought that was interesting, where he still is presenting it as though it wasn't predetermined that Kerry Von Erich was going to win the title because his brother tragically passed away.
I think Jim Cornette has the right idea, honestly, because he's kind of, at least if I understand his perspective, he's kind of in the middle ground. He's like, look, everybody knows it's a work, but you don't have to give it away.
Yeah,
like,
when you're watching, you don't have to give it away.
They don't necessarily need to know that what's happening to them right now is a work.
Yeah.
And that's the pro wrestling moments that I love the most. Is when you're not quite sure. I love the moments like the pipe bomb promo where I'm like, fuck, he's actually saying this shit. Like, is he leaving?
Yeah.
Like, he's talking like he's leaving.
I think for me as a casual a person watching this, for me it kind of is the equivalent of with Jim Henson and the Muppets, where like he would break the wall and he would talk about the stuff behind the scenes, but he was so good at what he did that even like there's a clip of him with I think it was some famous talk show host where he's got Rolf the dog, and Rolf the dog is
Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall, that was it. Where Rolf the dog has the sling for the arm that Jim can't operate because he's already operating the head and the hand, and like Rolf the dog is like, well, you see, there I got to break the magic a little bit here. I got one puppeteer. He's working the mouth right now, and he's got the head, 2 arms, 1 puppeteer, and like. The interviewer is so focused in on Rolf, even though Jim Henson is right there, literally breaking the magic, right? But he's so focused in on the fiction, the yarn that's being sold, that it doesn't even matter, right? And so I think
honestly, it's a very similar philosophy. In fact, a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, I saw a segment where a wrestler by the name of Stephanie Vaquer, who is the women's world champion. She did a talking segment because she has a legitimate ankle injury. So she's got a brace on one of her legs, and then she's attacked by another wrestler named Raquel Rodriguez. And I know this trick that they do. If a wrestler has a legitimate injury, but they need to get them off TV by making the injury worse, it was her other leg that was injured. So Raquel can hit this one. She can, it's protected. They'll do that. They'll do that sometimes if there's a legitimate injury. Sometimes there's no injury at all, and they just play it. But
clever.
Interesting.
It is. It's really. And then when you look for what to see, you'll see that like they're protecting the other leg. They're making sure it's not getting bumped. Like they go out of their way to not do anything with the other leg, which makes sense on screen because you wouldn't want to attack the fine leg. You'd want to attack the injured one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that's smart.
Yeah.
So and again, that's where I say, like, I think you can have it be a best of both worlds thing, where like you can have the world and the characters and the story, while we can still acknowledge that, like, we all know, but it doesn't matter.
We all know, but it sure is fun when it's not obvious.
If I ever was in a room with Kermit, I would be looking into those ping pong ball eyes, and he would be alive.
Yeah, he'd be alive
like,
for me.
Well, and that's the human brain. It's what it does. Like you see that, and you see a sentient being that can talk, and even though you know rationally, it's the reason a Muppet Christmas Carol is the best version.
I mean, absolutely,
because they're treated as actual.
They get top billing, baby.
And so when it comes to wrestling, that's kind of that's how I look at it. Like I'm like, I know, but I don't care.
I found though with
it's fun.
As the week went on with the professional wrestling movies, there is a genre of a professional wrestling movie where even within them, like, yeah, like he does the breaking kayfabe thing to explain the belt in the movie, but they still treat it as though like they still equate it to it being like a UFC belt, where it's like no, like this wasn't just decided in a back room between two like people beforehand. Like they still act as though this is an actual fight
contest.
Yeah.
Which the only thing the Iron Claw does that I disliked was the fact that they don't pick a lane in that regard.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're like you're not going to win the belt, and then other times we're like, okay, get out there and win. And I'm like,
there's a moment where Kevin does the Iron Claw and he gets disqualified, and then Fritz gets really mad at him, and you're like, why? What's happening? Why?
So that I'm explaining away something that probably shouldn't be explained away because it was a mistake in the movie. But back in that time, if say there was a stipulation that Kerry Von Erich was not allowed to do the Iron Claw and he forgot about it and did it, the match would end in a disqualification, even if that wasn't the. But see, that's the reason older wrestling is, I shudder to say better, but in terms of keeping the logic and the storytelling, generally it is better because there's a lot of wrestling logic that they just don't care about anymore. And there you'll see it a lot in modern wrestling where somebody will mess up a spot or a spot is taking too long to organize, and instead of just breaking and doing something else like improvising in the moment because it's like, oh shit, my footing's off, okay, just push me off the rope, like this is taking too long, which they would have done back in the day. Because one of them would be like, shit, I can't get my footing, push me, brother. And then they can do something else, or they can try the spot again in a different corner after he lays in some offense to soften his opponent up. Back then, that's something they would have done. Today, it's like they fight for the spot, and it's those moments that take me out of the match, and they're the ones that I hate. Or when it's obvious cooperation, like I don't know. Do you know what the move the Spanish Fly is?
Not by name.
Okay, so basically it's two guys are belly to belly, and then one does a backflip, but the guy doing the backflip is the one giving the offense because the other guy lands on his back.
Oh, okay. I think
But the thing is, the guy doing most of the work is the guy flipping forward because he has more momentum.
Oh, okay.
And if you understand basic human physiology, you know that, and that's why the move looks cool. But A, it's obvious that it's at least cooperative, and B, why would you do it? Just throw him, suplex him.
Yeah. When you say it like that, yeah.
Why would you risk flipping and landing on your neck when this person is presumably fighting against your rotation?
Other than to look cool, which I could see pulling you out of it. That makes sense.
And it does look cool. It does look cool. And I hate to say this because it sounds sexist as hell, but women's wrestling does this a lot more because it feels more dancey a lot of the time. Not all the time. There are some phenomenal female wrestlers out there, but usually when they're just getting started in the business or like early days of NXT, it can be painful.
we're gonna talk about some women's wrestling because women's wrestling has a very interesting history. That's I think, Jordan, unless you got do either of you have anything further you'd like to say about the Iron Claw?
No, that's it for me.
Other than watch it, no.
It was good. It was good. It was enjoyable. Check it out.
Hey there, everybody. It's N-Card Justin here. Let me know down in the comments. Are you familiar with the story of the Von Erichs? Have you seen the Iron Claw? Did you find it emotionally devastating? Let me know any of your thoughts down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast that this is from, our professional wrestling episode with our good friend Jake from Down the Middle Podcast, click the box on the left, or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. That helps us out too. We will see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.